We now welcome Kyle Mywaart to the Sports Desk. Kyle, I hear it's been a pretty eventful week in the world of sports. And I hear our men's varsity basketball team is gearing up for what is going to be a historic season.
That's right, Andrew. They've returned to the OCAA after a 20-year absence. Now, they had a bit of a rough patch to start off the year, losing their first 2 games, but they're looking good in practice. And as Mitch Dietrich reports, they're going to do well this year.
It has an opportunity that not too many have had before them, and that is to fill the seats here at Canadore's new gymnasium. The team looks great in this early start to the season, and it is mostly due to all the hard work they've been putting out on the hardwood. They've been giving it their all in some drills demonstrated here in practice. And it's those little things that are going to count if they want to rack up those wins and prove all their doubters wrong.
We are returning to play in the OCAA since the early 1990s is when we played last. And we're happy to be back, that's for sure. Love to win every game, but we played in Sault Ste. Marie this weekend, and as I just stated to you a few seconds ago, we were given a humble experience. We just couldn't pull it together, that's all. And but we're working on some things.
They say that practice does make perfect, and with the amount of effort I've seen them showing out here, the Canadore Panthers varsity basketball team should have no problems winning their fair share of games this season. It's been 20 years since the Canadore Panthers have had a varsity basketball squad, and they're trying to prove to everybody that they have what it takes to play at a college level. For Canadore Newsnet, I'm Mitch Dietrich.
Last night, the NBA saw its second night of regular season play. Fans are ecstatic after having only half a season last year due to the lockout at the first half. Let's take a look at some of the scores from last night. The newly rebuilt LA Lakers lost their second straight game and lost Steve Nash in the process. The Canadian point guard went down in the second quarter of LA's 116-106 loss in Portland to the Trail Blazers. Nash injured his left knee in a collision with Blazers rookie guard Damian Lillard. The Raptors opened their season with a tough loss at home. They fell just short in a 90-88 nail-biter to the Indiana Pacers. Toronto led in the third quarter before slipping late in the game. James Harden poured in 37 points and had a career-high 12 assists in his Houston debut to spark a 105-96 triumph at Detroit. Harden's big game occurred hours after he worked out a 5-year, $80 million contract extension with the Rockets. Meanwhile, Golden State Warriors point guard Stephen Curry has signed a $44 million 4-year contract extension that will keep him with the club through the 2016 and 2017 season. The North Bay Trappers took to the ice on Tuesday night for their 15th game of the NOJHL regular season. Let's take a look at some of those highlights. Starting things off in the first period, Trappers power play. Brendan Dubchuk has a nice one-timer on a great passing play, which makes it 1-0 Trappers. Moving into the second period now, the power play for the Sudbury Nickel Barons. Andre Comtois tips in a shot by Evan Purcell past Greg Dodds. It's now 1-1. Dodds currently leads the league with 10 wins and is best in the save percentage category. Just over a minute after his first goal, Blanchette banks one off Sudbury goalie Alex Leno for his second of the night. It's 4-1, and the Trappers continue to pour it on as Tate Sagan blasts this one home, one of his 2 on the night as the Trappers thump the Nickel Barons with a final score of 8-1. The Trappers now sit just 3 points behind the Sioux Thunderbirds with 1 game in hand. That's good enough for second place in the NOJHL. The 2012 Toronto Raptors season looks to be as unpredictable as any in the franchise's history. The Raptors should be battling the Bucks, Hawks, and Bulls for the final 2 playoff spots. Now for today's trivia. The Toronto Raptors have been the only Canadian team in the NBA since 2001, but what was the only other team to exist in Canada in the NBA? Andrew, you have any thoughts on this one?
I do believe it was the Vancouver Grizzlies.
And you're absolutely right. They played in the NBA from 1995 to 2001, where they were then moved to Memphis. There has been some speculation that Montreal is looking at picking up an NBA team, but at this point, those talks are nothing more than rumors.
All right, well, thanks, Kyle. Coming up after the break, an interview with Vice President Internal of CSRC, Adam Bevan.
Welcome back to Canadore Newsnet. Today we're talking with Adam Bevan, Vice President Internal for Canadore Students Representative Council. Thanks for being on the show today, Adam.
Thanks for having me, Colby.
Now you serve as liaison between Canadore College and Canadore student body.
Right.
Why did you decide to represent the students?
Well, I was a business and communications rep last year with CSRC. I was actually appointed to the position. I was asked by Brogan, who was acting president last year, if I wanted to do the job. I decided to do it just because I wanted to hopefully make a difference amongst the student body. I wanted my voice to be heard. I wanted to be able to help out as best I could. So,
Have you found that you've made a difference so far?
I think it's been a good year so far with everything. We've gotten our name out there. So.
Yeah. Do you find it difficult balancing like schoolwork and your duties as VP Internal?
Luckily, teachers are pretty lenient with scheduling for this position. They'll usually give you some time extensions and everything because they know that we're busy. And so, I mean, it's yes and no. It is hard to balance it sometimes, but what isn't hard to balance? So,
can you briefly describe what your position entails?
Well, as Vice President Internal, I act as liaison between the students with academic issues. Also, I take care of clubs. I fund them with money that we give them, which is $100. So yeah, I kind of manage those for Canadore. And
Is it difficult managing so many clubs?
we don't really have too many clubs. There's joint clubs amongst NUSU and CSRC. So right now we have 4 joint clubs, which I'm partial for taking care of, as well as the NUSU Vice President Internal.
Now, CSRC had a pretty busy summer, I'd say. Can you briefly describe some of the events that you guys threw in North Bay?
Well, we had our famous Frosh Week, which was the first week of September. I think it went off without a hitch. Everyone seemed to have a good time. I mean, we put a lot of sweat into that, so I mean, that's pretty much what we did for the summer. We also did Shinorama campaigns too, where we tried to get money raised for it. So it's a pretty good summer.
You guys have had a controversial year so far between Canadore College's administration, but you guys continue to put on activities and advertise for the students and promote different events. What type of events do students get to look forward to this year?
Well, we have actually our fall formal coming up, which is Arabian Nights. That's November 10th, so next weekend. We just finished crazy week of Halloween festivities. We have in the wintertime Frostbite coming, which is going to be insane as well. And then we actually have Movember just started today, so we're having at the end of the month a shave your face clean,
Really?
Start over again. We have these charitable boxes that will be amongst the school with posters put up as well. So
I see you've already got a pretty solid mustache going on.
Yeah.
Why do people participate in Movember?
I think it's a cause that hits home with people. Prostate cancer is not really something to joke about, so I mean, a lot of men suffer from it. Charity really hits home with people, so I think that's why people like to do it.
Do you find there's a supportive following around the student body when it comes to Movember and other charities like this?
I mean, if you look in the halls right now, you're looking at a lot of guys with mustaches growing, so I think the kind of volume speaks itself. So.
And it can't be easy for the ladies around campus to be looking at these mustaches, but they seem to be getting involved too. Do you think it's important for both genders to be so involved with a charity like this?
100%. You got your Mo bros and your Mo sisters, right? Without them, we don't have support, so you got to have them to get the cause going.
Now, what do you have here?
As I said, it's a charity box. You can find them in the student center right now. There's one in PALS, and there will be some in the registrar's office. It's simply just generations. If you want to give it, if you want to donate some money, awesome. We also have posters that we'll have around too, giving information on it. We have prizes too, what will be given out at our annual stash bash at the wall.
And when's that?
I think that's to be determined actually.
Okay. And any other events to look forward to this year?
We're still in the works with that, so just seeing where everything goes.
Well, whatever you guys seem to be doing, it seems to be working. People really seem to be responding to it. And thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. And from everyone here at Canadore Newsnet, we wish you the best of luck with all your events. To check out other stories and newscasts, go to theclaw.ca. Canadore Newsnet is a produced program by the television and journalism students. That does it for our show today. Thank you, Adam, for coming on the show. I'm Colby Clarke. Stay classy, North Bay.